Hey there, you guys. Welcome back. Today we are going to plant the Amorphophallus paeonifolius corm. I've got two of them to plant. If you watched my other video on Amorphophallus, I was showing you these other ones that I have, the bulbifer, the titan, and the konjac. And let's plant this paeonifolius. So let's come on in and get this done. Okay, so before we do that, let's just talk about our supplies. The bulbs came from these guys, or the corms came out of these this spring, and so this particular one has outgrown this particular pot. So I'm going to upsize this one. This pot is about 2 or 3 inches bigger than it was before. I could go a little bit bigger, but I don't really have anything at the moment other than something gigantic. So this one's going to get planted in this pot, and then this bulb here, or this corm, is going to stay in the 1 gallon size because it's still quite small. So we got that. We'll move that to the side. I'm going to use a organic fertilizer. I was looking for some slow release that I have inside, but I wasn't able to find it. So this organic fertilizer is good. I'm just going to mix a little bit in with the soil. I'll have to mix this again in a few weeks' time. Probably when they start to grow, I'll give it a little bit more. Less is more, but with organic, it's harder to burn your roots. But still, err on the side of caution. I do fertilize with liquid fertilizer as well. This is just an in-between, kind of help out the plant. And these guys like a well-draining soil, so I've got my big bag of Pro Mix. This one is high porosity, and I use this for all of most of my plants. This particular one is really high in perlite. It drains really, really freely, which is what you want for these. They don't want to sit in water, but they do like it moist when they're actively growing. And many of them are quite different, like the Titan wants to be a little bit more moist than, say, the konjac. The konjac can stay a little bit moist, but it can also go more dry. So the Titan doesn't like to dry out completely. So it makes it a good candidate for rot or desiccation. It's hard to win. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's start planting, and hopefully you enjoy. All right, here we go. So we're going to be planting these very similar to, if you're familiar with begonias, tuberous begonias. You want to keep in mind that the roots are going to develop in this central core. They're not going to develop from the bottom, but more from the top and maybe the sides. Just keep that in mind. As you can see, we've already got some developing here, and they're all around this main ring. So when we start, let's do the big one first. Put the soil in here. Wow, this is dry soil. Good thing I'm outside. All right, I'm just going to basically fill this up to maybe 4 inches from the top of the pot. A little bit more. There we go. Just break up any big clumps that you might have in here. This is a really easy process right now because my corm size is quite small. As these guys get bigger, they get to be really big. So it's going to be a heavier process as they get bigger, but it still remains the same. You might not transplant them every year. You might just do it as you're able to. So basically, I've got it in here, and this just broke off. I heard a little snap, and that's all right. I'm just going to lay that to the side, and in the past, I've had these grow. So let's see what happens. And see, as you can see, I've tilted it a little bit so that no water pools in the central zone. And I've added some fertilizer to the soil. Like I said before, I prefer to use a slow release fertilizer, but I just add a little bit of organic. It's a Miracle Grow organic fertilizer. So I just want to have about 2 inches for this size of corm, about 2 inches of soil on top of the corm. You don't want to have it too deep. There, my finger's touching the corm, and it's about 1 inch. So I can add a little bit more soil. And having it slightly deeper helps support the plant. but you don't want to have it too deep so that it can't grow up. So I'll just move this off to the side. I'll put the tag in there, and we'll do the other one. Here's the corm here. We got a nice pot. This one's a 1 gallon size pot. Fill some soil in here. There we go. I just want to go in and break up any clumps that there might be. If you didn't have a free draining soil, you can always add some mulch or some extra perlite, or you can add cocoa coir or cocoa husks. Anything to add bigger particle sizes into your mix. There we go. Now I'm just going to pop it in, and I'm just going to tilt it again just to the side, and then add some more soil to there. There we go. Perfect. It was that simple. So with these guys, I'm going to water these in really, really well. And then I'm not going to water them again until they start showing signs of growth. I don't want to rot them out. And then you want to keep them in a brightly lit spot, out of direct sun if you have really intense light. In my location in Ontario, Canada, I can have them in direct full sun outside, and they do great. They do get a little bit of yellowing on the leaves from time to time, but nothing they can't handle. So bright indirect light is perfect. Under like dappled shade is nice as well if it's a really bright location, or morning sun is perfect. If you have afternoon shade and morning sun, you're good to go. And then fertilize them when they're growing actively. You want to fertilize them on maybe a bi-weekly schedule, and maybe do like a quarter strength fertilizer each time. And judge by your own plant's growth rate. If it's growing really, really fast, you might want to up it a little bit. If it's growing really, really slow, you might want to hold back a bit. But you'll get to know your own plant and what it likes. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and water these in, and show me what you're growing. And if you're growing Amorphophallus, I'd love to see what yours look like. Some of you have massive plants, and I think that that's really amazing. And post your photos to the Plants and Things What's Growing page, as well as tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see them. Anyway, until next time, you guys, happy growing.